Welcome to this new automotive news video for Wednesday, March 18, 2026. And today, of course, we're going to talk about the new BMW i3, which is the fully electric equivalent of the 3 Series. BMW has just made the official presentation, and there is a lot of information about it. And it might be the first truly good European electric car. We'll also talk about Mercedes, which took the opportunity to share information about its electric C-Class, which will be the direct competitor to the i3. And we'll finish by talking about Bentley, which is announcing an unprecedented wave of layoffs, and which is also announcing at the same time that it will postpone, delay, or even cancel some of its electric car projects. These are the topics of this video from March 18, 2026. I hope, of course, that you'll find this video interesting, and if that's the case, I hope that, as usual, you'll show it. By supporting my channel for free, you can do that by leaving a little like under this video. You can boost it if the option appears after liking. And you can also subscribe for future ones. You can also leave a comment to share your thoughts on today's news, especially the i3 electric. What do you think about it? It wouldn't be the first truly worthy electric car offered by a historic European manufacturer. And actually, that's going to be the first topic of this video. We're going to talk about this new i3, which was officially unveiled this morning with a whole bunch of new information. A quick note about this i3 before we really dive into the detailed information about it. This i3 doesn't replace the traditional Series 3, it's just its electric equivalent. But the gasoline and hybrid versions will continue to be sold alongside this one, and that will also be the case for the sporty versions, the M versions, which will continue to exist with gasoline engines, but will also be offered as 100% electric versions. So this i3 was presented as a sedan version. By the way, BMW has indeed confirmed that there will also be a wagon version. We're looking at a fairly classic 3-box sedan, which adopts a modernized style and incorporates quite a few visual elements from the BMW X3, which is part of the same electric car program at BMW. It takes the general silhouette of a 3 Series, but much more modernized, much more angular. That has to be said as well. And like with most other manufacturers, the front and rear lights are getting slimmer and longer, and at the front, they're even integrated into the grille. Inside, BMW has introduced its panoramic vision system, which simply replaces the traditional gauges. There isn't even a gauge in front of the steering wheel anymore. There, all the driving information is projected directly at the base of the windshield. Everything like speed, remaining range of the vehicle, all the information will be displayed here. There will obviously, in addition to that, be a large central screen that will be oriented toward the driver, which will run with the new BMW OS X operating system, enhanced by artificial intelligence and many connected features. Still on the technology side, this new i3 also introduces a supercomputer called Earth of Joy, which will manage propulsion, braking, energy recovery, and steering, with a responsiveness said to be 10 times greater than the current system. Specifically, it refreshes the data from all the sensors and all the vehicle's computer systems much faster than previous generation supercomputers. This allows for almost instantaneous optimization of all the vehicle's driving parameters to improve energy consumption, range, and of course, handling. It will be equipped with V2L, which is a system that allows you to use the car's batteries to directly power electrical devices, like a computer or a coffee maker, but also V2H, which allows you to power a house with the electricity from the vehicle's batteries, useful in case of a power outage. But also V2G, which actually allows you to send the electricity stored in the vehicle's batteries back to the public grid. This helps stabilize the grid, but also potentially generates income, or at the very least, reduces your electricity bill in some cases. It will also be equipped with one-pedal technology, which allows the vehicle to automatically slow down to a complete stop when you release the accelerator, by maximizing energy recovery during deceleration to recharge the batteries. Speaking of batteries, we'll discuss them, which may be the most important aspect. Or maybe this car outperforms the competition. This car is built on an 800V architecture. It can handle charging power up to 400 kWh. This allows you to charge the battery from 10 to 80% in less than 20 minutes. So the battery is a 108 kilowatt battery that allows this car to claim between 800 and 900 kilometers of range. For now, it's not specified exactly. BMW is still in the process of getting it certified for WLTP. But knowing that the BMW iX3, which is bigger and heavier, shows a range of 805 kilometers. With exactly the same battery technology, it's quite likely that this i3, which is lower and probably lighter, will show much more than that. It will first be offered only in an all-wheel drive version, the famous X-Drive from BMW, and will produce 470 horsepower. For your information, the battery is a 108 kilowatt battery, And with 400 kilometers fast charging, you can recover about 400 kilometers of range in 10 minutes of charging. This i3 is truly one of the most technologically advanced European electric cars and is more versatile in terms of range. The big question, and this is where everything will be decided, is how much it's going to cost. There is no specific information about its price, but the X3, which has the same technology and is about the same generation, is sold starting at 71,950 euros. The i3 is probably considered a slightly less prestigious vehicle, so it should be a bit cheaper than the iX3. That's why most car experts think that this one will be sold for around 65,000 euros in the entry-level version. It's still not cheap. If that's confirmed, it would still be about 10,000 to 15,000 euros more expensive than the entry-level traditional 3 Series. That's a comparison the iX3 doesn't have to deal with, since the base iX3 in its combustion engine version is also a premium SUV. BMW isn't really trying to lower the prices on that one either. The base iX3 is sold for around 65,000 euros, which means there's about a 5,000 euro difference with the iX3. One last bit of information about this i3. BMW has already confirmed that it will also be available later as a station wagon, which will be called the i3 Touring. We don't have any more information about it yet, except that it will probably offer a larger trunk than the base iX3, which has 480 liters in the sedan version. On the other side, there will be the electric Mercedes sedan, which Mercedes is slowly starting to talk about. And at first glance, unfortunately for Mercedes, the electric sedan will still be a notch below the iX3. So yes, it will also benefit from an 800-volt architecture, but its fast charging will be limited to a power of 330 kilowatts. The battery is also said to be a little smaller, around 94 kilowatt hours, with a power output in the largest version of 482 horsepower, whereas at BMW, they tend to suggest that the iX3 with 470 will simply be a mid-range model, and the targeted range is 725 kilometers. While that's enough in any case for daily trips for a car like this, which is a road car, offering 100 kilometers less range than the iX3 is a real blow. And above all, with a slightly lower charging speed, you'd get more like 300 to 350 kilometers in 10 minutes instead of 400, as is the case with the iX3. It appears less versatile and interesting than the iX3 on paper. We'll see if the price matches that, because if it's 10,000 to 15,000 euros cheaper than the iX3, it could still sell pretty well. To finish, let's talk a little about Bentley. Bentley isn't going through a very good period, as the brand plans to cut 275 jobs. That may not sound like much, but Bentley is a small brand, and this still accounts for 5 to 10% of its global workforce. These job cuts will mainly take place at the brand's sites in England, while the British auto industry is already in a particularly complicated situation. So, why is Bentley laying people off? Quite simply because Bentley had a rather bad year in 2025, with revenue down by 1%. That's still 2.6 billion euros in revenue, but it's still a decrease. And above all, a drop in profits of about 40%. And that's much more worrying. So why is it dropping so much? Because like most other European luxury or premium brands, they are losing. The Chinese market now trusts local brands much more, which have caught up a bit in terms of quality, but are especially much cheaper. Bentley was also penalized by American taxes, which reportedly cost them around 42 million euros. And it also faced an increase in industrial costs and supplier costs. So things aren't going well at Bentley, they're laying people off. But we also realize that for now, the luxury electric car market isn't attracting much interest. The wealthy, or at least well-off people, are mostly interested in vehicles with combustion engines. That's why Bentley is completely changing its electrification strategy. Initially, they plan to offer an exclusively electric lineup, made up of 5 models by 2035 now. Out of those 5 projects, 4 have been canceled. Only 1 is still going ahead. It's the new luxury electric SUV, which will be inspired by the EXP15 concept and is expected to be unveiled in 2027. So 3/4 of the electric car projects have been canceled, and Bentley doesn't plan to introduce a second one before at least 2030. Bentley will therefore turn to hybridization, especially plug-in hybrids, which will continue to be based on fairly large displacement combustion engines. V6, V8 maybe even, who knows, the return of the W12, a strategy from Bentley that is closer to what the customers want, but which is also endured and imposed by choices made by the brand Porsche, since Porsche and Bentley both belong to the same automotive group, the Volkswagen Group. Porsche was supposed to develop a new platform, the SSP Sport 61, which was supposed to be the basis for a whole range of new electric sports models. Except that this platform keeps getting delayed. As a result, Bentley, which is a small brand, no longer really has a viable platform to base its next 100% electric models on. And so they prefer to go back to hybrid cars rather than offer electric models that would be completely obsolete. Because based on a completely aging platform, there you have it. That was the news for this Wednesday, March 18, 2026. I hope you found this video interesting. If that's the case, as usual, I'm counting on you to show it. By supporting the channel for free, you can leave a like, you can subscribe, and you can also become a supporter of my channel by clicking the join button. Under this one, we'll meet again tomorrow for the next automotive news video. In the meantime, thank you for watching this one and see you tomorrow. Ciao.